morning, everybody. Today we're going to do a quick carb cleaning video. So this is something I see a lot of people seem to struggle with. It's really a basic thing. I think a lot of people just miss some of the small details. So we're going to go over those individually and see if we can't help a few people get their bikes back on the road and running properly.
All right, we're going to get started on this tear down of these carbs. So first thing I like to do is get a couple paper towels laid out. Lets you see your parts good. Also keep stuff from rolling off your table. First thing we're going to do is get this bowl pulled off. Obviously this is a set of 2 carburetors from a Vstar 650. But all this stuff applies basically to every CV type carburetor, which is pretty much every carburetor that came factory on a motorcycle from the early 80s up until they've quit using them for fuel injection on most bikes now. So what you're going to see won't be the exact same as yours, but will be very similar. So you're going to get these screws pulled out, which will let your bowl come off. Once you get the bowl off, inside the carburetor here. Alright, so we got the bowl off. This is what you're going to see inside your bowl. So you got your float, you got your needle and seat. This thing would focus. You got your pilot jet and your main jet. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all those out. Just want to basically strip away everything removable from the carb body. So if it screws in, you want to take it off. Just gives you the best access to clean everything. So alright, get all that. Pop your seat out. And that's the bottom. So I'm going to just switch over here, go to the top so you can see how the top is. And then I'll get the rest of them pulled apart. So same deal here, your top cover. Unscrews. Inside of there is your slide with your rubber diaphragm. That's what allows the vacuum to lift the slide for you. You got that. Watch your spring doesn't fly away. Then you slide your slide out. Inside the slide is your needle, and you just want to make sure all this stuff is clean for when you go to put it back together. So I'm going to get these finished torn apart, and then we'll get them into the ultrasonic. Alright, so we got the carburetors here under the ultrasonic cleaner. Just a little word about that. I do a lot of carburetors, so it's worthwhile to invest in this ultrasonic cleaner. Basically, we use a mixture. It's mostly water, a little bit of Dawn dish soap, and a little bit of Simple Green. If you're just rebuilding your own carburetor on your own bike, you don't want to buy an ultrasonic cleaner, you can boil the carburetor. Same little mixture. You just get a low rumble going and let the carburetor soak in there for a while. The heat breaks everything down, and the rumbling of the boil helps get it out. So it's just a way you can do it without having to buy a large piece of equipment that you might never use again. So once we take it out of there, we're going to take some compressed air, and blow everything out. Blow out all your air passages, blow off all the outside. You got residual water and all that on there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. One of the most important areas you blow out where your mixture, or not your mixture, your pilot jet goes in. You want to blow those out real good. And when you're doing it, feel inside the throat of the carburetor, and you'll be able to feel air coming out. That lets you know that that passage is clear. And then you know you should have your idle issue fixed, if that's the reason that you were cleaning your carburetor, which it commonly is. Something else I do on carburetors with enricheners, usually in the top, you can see this hole right here. That's the enrichener passage. I don't know how easily you can see it, but you can kind of see that color change. I just shoot a little lube down in there to lube up the O-rings, WD-40, whatever. Just keep those moving freely and helps them seal well. So now that we've got the bodies all clean, we can go ahead and start doing some reassembly. Doesn't really matter. I usually assemble the slides first, but there's really no particular order. As long as you get everything in that you took out, you'll be good. So again, with the slides, I like to lubricate them a little bit, so it helps them operate smoothly and keep them from binding. So you got your nice clean needle that just came out. You're going to go ahead and drop that in. This has a little plastic tab on it that aligns the needle on this particular carburetor. Not all of them do, but if they do, just grab your needle and twist it till it drops in. You got a little retention spring. Drop that in, and your retainer screw. So that's going to go in there. Get it all aligned and screw it in place. Something else I will do is a little lube on the rubber diaphragm. Again, these diaphragms on a lot of these older carburetors are hard to come by, so anything you can do to them to just extend their life and keep them a little soft will help you out in the long run. So you're going to go ahead and drop it in. When you do drop it in, you want to make sure that your needle doesn't contact the carb body and it falls all the way down in. So one other thing I see a lot when I take apart carburetors, of course this one fits perfectly in there, but a lot of times it's easier if you hold the slide up and get the rubber in place around the carb body. Then you put your spring in, you get your carburetor top, and hold that in place and then let it go. That way you know your slide's working freely. You can lift it up and down with your finger and make sure it snaps back down. Go ahead and put the screws in.
All right, now we're going to do the bottom side of these carburetors. Got our all balls kit here. So put all the old stuff on one side of your paper towels. Get everything dumped out here. So got our new needle and seat baggied up. When I do these, spray a little lube on the O-ring. Go right in, pop it in. When I'm doing these carbs like this, I usually do each piece on both carburetors. So like put the seat in both carburetors and I put the main jet in both carburetors. Doesn't really matter to do it that way. I don't know why I do it that way. I guess just how I started doing them, and now it's kind of a habit. So you can do one at a time, or you can do them how I do them. So I like to use the new jets whenever possible, but I do always confirm that they are the same size, because if somebody's tuned your bike over the years and they are to 20, that way you don't have to worry about fighting to clean the jets out. You just put the new ones in that came with it. It makes life easier. If they were not the same size, then you would obviously want to make sure that your used jets got cleaned in the ultrasonic or boiled or what have you, and make sure they're nice and clean with no residual grime or caked on fuel that will cause the interior size to change. So same thing with the main jets, 90s, and the stock is 90. Cool. Again, you don't have to manhandle any of this stuff, just nice and snug. It's all brass, it's easy to break, easy to strip out. Big dog status, I'm a big dog, pull up on the block, floats in. You're gonna hang the needle on the little tab on the float. Ride around the city with a stick all black. Try with a spoken weed with all that. Made $1 million and I can't go back. Got a lot of jewelry on me, okay, just give it a once over, double check you got everything in there. You're going to put your new gaskets on your float bowl. You usually just kind of have a groove and they'll push in. It's an O-ring style. And then sit your bowl back. Luckily, the all balls gives you all new screws, so those screws that were chewed up we don't have to worry about. 3, 2, 1, I got big dog status, I'm a big dog, I pull up on the block, get a big Corvette, ride around the city with a stick all black, try with a spoken weed with all that, big dog status, I'm a big dog, I pull up on the block, get a big Corvette, ride around the city with a stick all black, try with a spoken weed with all that, Okay, so the last thing, these all balls come with these real nice mixture screws that you can adjust by hand. So what you're going to do here, you got the mixture screw, you have your spring, and then very important, you have the little sealing washer, or actually the sealing O-ring and the washer, which protects the O-ring from the spring. So on the needle, you're going to stack the spring, you're going to stack the washer, then you're going to stack the O-ring. Obviously, you want to make sure you got your old washer and O-ring out of the carburetor body. install this. You're going to screw it all the way in until it stops lightly seated. You don't want to crank it in there like crazy. So you just screw it until it stops, very light seated pressure. And then we're going to take it out 3 turns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 halves equals 3 full turns. And there you have it. Nice, clean, ready to run set of carburetors. All right, guys, thanks for watching along. We got our carbs all cleaned and put back together. They're ready to go on the bike. Hope you guys enjoyed this and learned something. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment and ask them. I do read all the comments and reply. Also, don't forget to subscribe. When we reach 250 subscribers, we're going to be announcing our big giveaway. This is going to be a big giveaway. It's not going to be a t-shirt or something. You're not going to want to miss it. So be sure to subscribe so you can find out what that's going to be, and then hopefully you'll win. So thanks for watching, and thanks for joining us. Hope to see you here again at Gaddy's Garage.